الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على النبي المصطفى الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي بنعمته تتم الصالحات أما بعد. Dear brothers and sisters, we are still in continuation of our story about our beloved Palestine, and tonight is going to be a very quick reflection to connect the past, but I'm sorry, to connect the worst of the past to the worst of the present. That quick reflection is gonna tell us exactly how we lost Palestine, not because of just our weakness, but because of betrayal. And how our brothers and sisters are slaughtered nowadays in Palestine because of betraying them too, from the Arabs and the Muslims. We have talked about these three characters, and today, I'm going to continue to let you have this quick idea about what was happening in the past. We said that Sharif Hussein ibn Ali started the Arab revolt, and that was a big mistake that actually made us lose Palestine. And in some writings or narrations, some people are going to talk about the family that betrayed Palestine, meaning Sharif al-Hussein ibn Ali, his two sons, Faisal and Abdullah. There are some writings and sayings like this: the betrayal, the family that betrayed Palestine. But anyway, the reflection I want to say and focus on today is we lost Palestine because of a main reason in the past. When everyone in that family wanted to get kingdom, that's it. They didn't need anything. They were just thinking of having that kind of kingdom, that authority, which ended up with what? With nothing. As we have seen, as Sharif Hussein had no control or no ruling over them other than Al-Hijaz territories, which he was already in charge of at the time of the Ottoman Empire. But the betrayal or that kind of betrayal procedures is going to continue, though they have known about the Balfour Declaration. It was announced. It was a secret. They promised Sharif Hussein, but they had made the agreement, written agreement between the British and the French without giving any notice to anyone. Who revealed that declaration? It was revealed by the Russian. That secret was exposed finally by the Russian people. And at that time, the British people was very clear, and they said, we have already agreed to give Syria to the French. So there is no way to give anything from the Syria territories. And when I'm talking about Syria at that time, we meant Syria and Lebanon. Lebanon was a part of the area of Syria. So they said, we will never give you anything. It was clear now. But Faisal continued doing what he was doing, and his brother Abdullah, in hope that maybe after they control these territories and push the Ottomans out of the Syrian territories, they will get something. And they continued working or doing what they were doing with very fixed and a clear intention, even written agreements that Palestine, Jerusalem, is going to be given to the Jews. So it is documented that Faisal, the son of Al-Hussein or Al-Sharif Hussein, met with Chaim Weizmann in Paris within the post-war conferences. They met, and it is said that they signed an agreement that is known as the Weizmann-Faisal Agreement. What was in this agreement? Let's talk about Article number 4. Article number 4 expressed that there will be a Jewish state to be established in Jerusalem in Palestine. And they both signed and agreed on that agreement. And even the correspondence between Faisal and the leader of the Zionist movement in the United States at that time, his name is Flex Flockfort, I think, I remember that. That man revealed some correspondence between him and Faisal. And I'm going to read that for you, because I didn't like to miss a word in that. He said, in this correspondence, the Arab, especially the educated among us, look with the deepest sympathy on the Zionist movement. We will wish the Jewish most hearty welcome home. I just wrote it down so I don't make any mistake of any of the words. But what happened is, as I said, and I will repeat it again, it's still the same thing. What's going on to our brothers slaughtered in Palestine now, the main reason is we do not support them. Our Arab, our Muslim countries do not defend them. They are even prevent them from having food and water. And this is what happened in the past. It seems like something is going on. At the end, did Faisal get what he wanted? No. He wanted through wars and the fight with the British, with the French. The British tried to help him, but they couldn't do anything because they have already signed an agreement with the French. So he went on trying to control Syria. But the French was busy at that time with their war with Kemal Ataturk because they wanted to take the South Turkey, or the south part of Turkey at that time. And they ended with an agreement to leave Turkey, and they came back to Syria, and they kicked Faisal out of Syria. At that time, he sent his brother and declared his brother Abdullah to be the king of Iraq. And another important part I want to mention here in relation to that reflection, with all the power of the British people at that time, in the past, they could not even control Iraq. If you remember, we said according to Sykes-Picot agreement, they were going to take Iraq. They could not control Iraq. They were rejected in Iraq. It was reported that 450 officers and soldiers of the British people were killed in Iraq. So they ended up to leave Iraq as the kingdom of Faisal. But actually, he was not a real king, as he was not a real king in Syria during that very little period. We are talking about, by the way, the between 1918 and 1921. All of these I'm talking about today in these 3 years. So he was given that part, and he sent Abdullah, his brother, to control the part of what we know now, Jordan. So this is what they got. And in the future, we will see how their father is going to lose even Al-Hijaz, Sharif al-Hussein. And the war is going to be between him and Abdul Aziz ibn Saud. Then, today, we are going to see that they said, we have nothing to talk about Jerusalem. We have no concern in anything in relation to Palestine, but our main concern is to have our kingdom. Even it ended up, instead of the kingdom of the entire Arab Peninsula, it ended up to be what? Just in Jordan, which was not a country at that time, of course, and only Iraq, specifically Al-Mosul and Al-Basra, because of the oil. So, after all of this conspiracy, they got nothing. They really got nothing. Even when they were appointed as kings there, remember, these territories were under the mandates of the British and the French. Mandating, or that mandate means what? The British and the French have the full authority to impose their ruling in these territories. And of course, they kept Palestine, or Jerusalem specifically, under the British mandate until it was delivered to the Jewish people migrating and coming from there. So, in this regard, what I wanted to make that reflection, or why I wanted to make that reflection, to say we are not defeated just because of our weakness. We are not weak. Alhamdulillah, our brothers and the sisters in Palestine nowadays, they are how many of them? 2.5 million in Gaza? And they are still fighting for a year, more than a year now in their fight. Many countries could not continue in the World War II and the World War I for more 5 days. Big European countries were defeated in 5 days, left the war. Those very civilian, peaceful people in Palestine are still slaughtered, bombarded every night and every day with all of these chemicals and bombs. And finally, they had nothing to do with them but to burn their tents with their explosions. This is the main idea of our session today. We have never been betrayed, we have never been defeated because of just being weakness. Yeah, we are weak. In many times of the history of Muslim people, we were very weak. But we used always to gain victory because of our iman in Allah, because of our sacrifice for the goal, which is the akhirah, for our sacrifice to gain Jannah. This is our main problem.